Hello, welcome back and welcome in. My name is Nikki Wheeler. If you're interested in gaming, go subscribe to my other channel and follow my Twitch to see my gaming live. Now, let's start this video. Today, I will be discussing Shawn Mendes. He's a well-known Canadian singer starting his rise to fame extremely early during the Vine and YouTube era, uploading covers of artists such as Adele and John Mayer. Soon after these covers gained traction, he got signed to a record label at the age of 16 and released his first studio album, Handwritten. It came off the insanely popular single Stitches, which is your typical pop song about love. It's about not being able to live with this person you're pining after, even after they have hurt you in the past. What I think makes this song special or unique compared to these other songs is his tone throughout the song. It isn't necessarily a yearning feeling, but it has that effect of knowing but still not learning from your mistakes. He grapples you in with the catchy ass chorus, and it keeps you seated because he has a smooth delivery with hints of some influences like John Mayer or even Justin Timberlake. I think the best part of this song is easily the second verse. I love the use of the word bitter, especially when it is talking about someone's personality. I think it is such a strong word and it gets a good point across. It also just carries itself, the verse flows so easily and it keeps you engaged just as long as the chorus. The second song I liked from this album was Aftertaste. I love how this record in particular is delivered as well, something I think he does exceptionally well on this album as a collective. This song starts off immediately and puts you into an angsty mood. I think it kind of like a nicer version of Vengefulness. The verses move fast and get you into the longer and more drawn out chorus with really good notes being hit on the end of each sentence. It pulls out the heartstrings and just hits you again and again. It is so effective in getting you just to sing your heart out while listening along. A Little Too Much was another song I loved from this album and what I believe should have been the closer. It is another acoustic ballad that puts his vocal capabilities on a pedestal. Obviously, it isn't loud by any means, and you can tell just from his performance that his range could go far, and it sets him up for a potential power ballad. I also love how this song is a written and chronological story within the lyrics. It follows the same girl and could allow for relatability with being quite broad. It feels like Shawn wanted this to be a gem in the rough for the album, which is why I don't understand why it wasn't the last track. Moving into that, this album was really good, but I think it could be better by shifting the songs around. There are some weaker tracks as well, just blatantly. I still don't like I Know What You Did Last Summer or Life of the Party. They both feel weirdly forced, but I know Camilla being on this album was huge for Shawn, getting such a big name from one of the biggest girl groups at the time. I just don't think that either of these songs really deserve to be on such an earnest track list. Some of the other songs for me were also just muddled together. I could listen to the lyrics and get a grasp on it, which isn't necessarily his fault and more on my own, but I think if you can't hold my attention for a full 3 minutes, then what will the rest of the album do? That being said, I did get to finish the album without issue, and I think Life of the Party could have easily gone on the following album, Illuminate. This was the second record released just over a year after his debut album. Mendes decided to play off the soulful inclinations on the second collective and play more into the R&B genre as a way to give a bit of grace and warmth to the record. As it turns out, this wide-eyed puppy dog routine is the key to his appeal. He's not forceful, and whenever he slides into the Loverman routine, there's never a sense that he's some player. His voice is small and sweet. It feels as if he's whispering sweet nothings to his high school sweetheart. He's charming because he embraces his ordinariness, like on the song Treat You Better. There was some speculation this song was about Camila Cabello, especially after their song together on the last album. I like this song purely because the beat is addicting to listen to. It has some of the bittersweet feelings woven through it, but it still had the charm Shawn was known for at this point in his career. His role was being pushed through, and this song did it much justice. The bridge was my favorite part though, because Shawn is offering his support emotionally and even possibly physically as the girl he loves leaves an abusive relationship, as the rest of the song says, but when he asks for a sign at the beginning of this section, makes it kind of seem like he is taking the action to actually tell her that he is there for her, rather than just standing around and hoping she knows. Another song that gives me the same energy is No Promises. While it may be on the opposite end of the spectrum, being about asking his significant other to not make promises he may not be able to fulfill, I think it shows the same theme he was getting at in this first song. It wasn't a perfect song by any means, but I think it also shows the thought process behind him and how he knows his limits. I also love the addition to the backup vocals in the chorus, filling a silence that would have been absolutely deafening. The last song I wanted to talk about was Roses, which was also included in the deluxe version of this album. Throughout the track, Shawn struggles with his love for a girl as well as his fear of rejection. The lyrics of the song mention that the girl already has a significant other, but she may still be interested in him. Since he knows his love for her exceeds the love she has for her current significant other, he's giving her this rose, which provides a chance for their love to blossom and flourish. What I like so much about this song was just the sheer softness in his voice. There wasn't necessarily a tremble or a whimper, but it gave that pitiful cry. The instrumental's also the same way. It's soft and gets higher towards the end of every note and just feels amazing to listen to. It feels 10 times more genuine than his first album and like he was actually trying to give his potential partner what they want in life while still looking out for himself. There aren't too many misses on the album for me other than a select few just because I didn't vibe with the music itself. The whole collective album feels much more thorough and planned out than his debut, and that would move me into his self-titled third studio album, Shawn Mendes. It came out in 2018 and a deluxe later in 2019, and it was 100% driven by the pop, rock, and R&B genres. He kept his traditional folk pop sound and his charming stature, but included a hint of a new facet to him, that being the bad boy status. The song Señorita really kicked off that gear in him for this whole album, again collaborating with Camila Cabello. The songs I wanted to talk about though were a little more sincere, starting with If I Can't Have You. It's the upbeat, the 1975 inspired track that cemented this album as one of his best yet. It's very easygoing and straightforward with just a hint of subtlety and slow burning passion. It made me think of a forbidden love story and how spiraling mentally it can be. It makes use of the consistent beat and the slowing down at the end of the chorus to make something catchy, which I loved, but I love the pre-chorus for some reason, much more than the actual chorus. My guess was it was just the delivery and the tone of his voice with the first and second line. It trembled just enough and was pleasing to the ear for me. Other than that, I think the song was just another one of his hits that went over extremely well because it is a basic pop anthem that hit a home for a lot of people. The second song was Because I Had You, which musically it is a ballad with soft electric guitar notes and one of the most simple tracks he wrote. I think that is why this one was one of my favorites. It is calming and alluring, showing full yearning and the need to have this person. Mendes talks about this one girl that he can't seem to get over. He keeps reminiscing about all the things they love together. Altogether, with the theme going along with the reminiscent, the music itself is also nostalgic. For one, it brought back the feeling of his first album while also bringing in influences of Bruno Mars. And while we're talking about Bruno Mars, we can move into the last song from his album that I loved, which was Queen. He talks about someone who is stuck up and believes that they have more power over everyone else, hence making her the queen. What makes this song stand out so much is that he digs into this person and tells them off for thinking that they are better than him. It is ironic in that way, but it is amazing for that too. Even though I said his vocals are soft, you can still hear the sass, especially when he says, "Who made you the queen?" at the end of the chorus. He was for sure feeling himself recording it, and I love him for that. All through this album, Mendes remains a quivering adolescent presence. He weaves such intricate details that make him stand out from his competition at this time that kept his records flying off the shelves. This record is confident, yet quiet in a way that suggests he had his adulthood and his future music in mind. He doesn't abandon the soft-focused soul that turns Stitches into a breakthrough smash, but he deepens his groove and polishes his surfaces, all the while concentrating on crafting sturdy songs. Finally, we have the most recent album released in late 2020, Wonder. Mendes attempts a variety of styles and sounds while also expanding his emotional range. Love and self-doubt remain at the core of his obsessions, yet he's allowing himself to feel some joy and fun, which is one of the main reasons I love this album so much. It personally has no skips for me. Even the weaker songs are phenomenally produced and sound enjoyable. My favorite songs on here, though, were Teach Me How to Love, Always Been You, and Piece of You. Firstly, Teach Me How to Love showed us the modern R&B Shawn was going for in this previous album, but multiplied by 10. Just by the title and chorus, you can tell this song is about physical intimacy. It brings in the more personal side of Shawn and his feelings towards his girlfriend in the beginning stages in their romantic life. Most of his vocals on this song showed such passion and a frenzy of blissful love. It was the first and definitely not the last on the album. The song kept the pulse of the album alive and made it along into another signature, Always Been You. The lyrics in the song express that the protagonist believes in fate and that their partner was meant to save them from their insecurities and fear. The protagonist knows, without a doubt, that their partner is the one they've been searching for all along, and their heart keeps coming back to them. The repetition of the phrase, "it's always been you," throughout the song emphasizes that idea that the singer has felt this way all along. I loved the production of the music itself too, because it's so loud and then it goes quiet to say the repeated phrase just to hit again over and over. Drums are probably one of my favorite parts of any song if they are present. It plays into that repetitiveness and secures the feeling of returning to this person and pining. The last song from this album is "Piece of You." This song explores the feelings of possessiveness, jealousy, and insecurity that arise when being in a relationship with someone who is desirable and sought after by others. The lyrics depict the struggles of constantly feeling threatened by others who also want a piece of the person the singer is in love with. This theme isn't necessarily a new topic for him, but it wasn't as in your face as this song is. In the verses, the singer admits to being reckless, obsessive, possessive, and even pathetic in their feelings for their partner. Each section past this just emphasizes that want to change their mind because their partner secures their spot as their significant other and only theirs. What we do see as a new thing though is the genre. While it still has those typical pop and R&B sounds, it follows the neo-disco glitterball tunes, adding synth effects or some electric additives. I think it added so much personality to the record and expanded the possibilities for Shawn. I think, as a creative, Shawn has grown much more into his personality and has matured greatly within this last record and graciously attempted new things. And with that, I think that would move me into the rankings. This will be on a best to worst scale, taking lyrical content, music composition, and vocal capabilities into account. Starting off, I have number 1 being Wonder, number 2 is Shawn Mendes, number 3 is Illuminate, and finally at number 4 is Handwritten. I think in Shawn's case, each album has been better than the last, the most recent having no skips for me, while all the other albums do. I think sonically it also beat out the others just because it was more heavily produced and not as inspired from other artists and was just Shawn experimenting with sounds. I think that's where I will leave this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Comment down below for who I should cover next, and until next time, bye guys.